Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to MG Sports' live coverage of the Jamaican Premier League. Of course, I'm your commentator for today, John Stewart, and we'll be bringing to you live coverage from the Ferdinita Sports Complex, home of seven-time champions Portmore United, who today will be hosting the reigning, defending champions, Cavalier. We're bringing, of course, to you shortly the lineups as soon as they appear on the screen. But must say today promises to be a fiery clash, which of course is in opposition to the weather at the moment. A bit chilly, especially from where we're seated, but nonetheless promises to be an excellent clash. Really eagerly awaiting this encounter, of course, between third place Portmore United and sixth place currently Cavalier. Cavalier have been not in the best of form recently. Only one win in their last five. And they have lost their last two games, both to Tivoli, of course, the feature game Sunday that we last covered, and against Dumblehold in a surprise loss at that. But not only were Cavalier surprisingly beaten, but they were soundly beaten. Not necessarily in regard to the scoreline, but in terms of the performance was not the best. And here we have the aforementioned lineups for you. For Portmore United, we have Daniel Russell in goal, Ramon Howell, of course, captaining this side as usual. National representee Stephen Young, Clayton Peck, Emilio Rousseau, Romeo Guthrie, Javier Brown, Tej Bryan, Ronaldo Robinson, who returns to the starting lineup, Nick Hoy Gale, and Tariq Zimenez. Cavalier, we have Twain Lynch in goal, Giovanni Ling, Jamar Watson, Adrian Reed, Christopher Ainsworth, Dwayne Allen, Chad James, Lewis Watson, Quayne Thompson, Michael Forbes and Jerome McClearly. Of course, the team is captained by Jerome Ling. The weather may not be so kind to us with the equipment, with the wind and the strong nature of it, but Let's hope it's kind to the players. Should be rearing and ready to go in about the next 10 minutes or so with these conditions. Not too hot, not too cold. Hopefully the wind doesn't take away the game. Cavalier, as I mentioned before, are currently in 6th position on the table, but they do have 2 games in hand, in fact, on their counterparts, Tivoli Garden, who are currently in 5th place. Of course, we mentioned before, they did lose to Tivoli Gardens in an extremely memorable clash just a week ago. They lost 2-1 with dying moments, a goal from Dane Ewan, courtesy of a corner kick from Michaelia Fuller, who was absolutely brilliant during that game, if you can remember. Of course, with a trademark free kick to equalize for Tivoli Gardens, but nevertheless, Cavalier with a win today would move ahead of Tivoli Gardens, sent to 5th place, and they do have the chance, should they win both their games in hand, to be a point behind 4th place Mount Pleasant, who, of course, have a couple games in hand of their own, given both of the teams' involvement early on in the season in the Caribbean Cup competition, of course, which Mount Pleasant would eventually go on to win after Cavalier were unfortunately knocked out, weren't able to defend their crown as Caribbean champions, but Mount Pleasant still doing the land of wood and water justice by capturing that competition. Interestingly enough, Cavalier, as I mentioned before, not in the greatest of form, but their schedule does not get any easier, as they will be taking on right after this 3rd place Portmore, of course. But then next week they have Mount Pleasant, and then league leaders Montego Bay United. So, as I mentioned before, it does not get any easier for Cavalier. They will have tough going of it, but they are quite a resilient club, and they do have strong leadership. So you can expect that they'll be able to weather the storm that's about to take place in regards to the quality of their opponents upcoming. There we have just a wonderful shot of the surroundings here at the Ferdanita Sports Complex. There we have it as well, the field that they'll be playing on. Perhaps one of the better fields in the league. Should make for a good game today. Of course, we did bring live coverage here actually just a few short weeks ago, where Portmore United took on Spanish Town. Of course, they came out winners, sound winners actually. It's a resounding victory with Clayton Peck grabbing a brace. As the players are about to go onto the pitch, we just take a moment, just take in this absolutely enthralling clash we're about to witness as the players step onto the pitch. screen as well. As you can see on the screen, we do have updates for you from the other games around the league. Waterhouse, of course, will be taking on Treasure Beach FC, as well as Honor Gardens will be taking on Dumbo Holden. And as the players finished with the national anthem, observing the national anthem, they just to regroup, just to get their thoughts together before we commence the game. Of course, we're just about 2 or so minutes away from kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. Strap yourselves in, fasten your seatbelts, get your popcorn, get your soda, whatever it is that you do to get ready, because we're about to have a mouth-watering clash between, as I said before, the third place and sixth place team in the Jamaican Premier League, reigning Premier League champions, Cavalier versus Portmore United. Stay tuned. And it seems that Cavalier already, but they're just awaiting Portmore United as they come out of their huddle. Portmore United, of course, will be playing in their white jersey with red font, while Cavalier will be playing in their away kit today, black with white socks and some white font on their shirts, some white stripes. Of course, some of the key players to note for this game, of course, Chad James, as we begin the game, he has 4 goals this season. Christopher Ainsworth actually leads the team from defense with 5. Portmore United, they do have Ronaldo Robinson, who has currently 4 goals this season, while Clayton Peck and Marcus Reed both have 3. Portmore United, of course, as I said before, have struggled just a little bit. They with 3 draws in a row, but here they'll be seeking to claim a victory at home. Of course, Ainsworth marauding down this right-hand side, however, just loses out. A challenge there. And that's a throw to be taken by Rousseau. And here's Peck trying to play it into the path. A teammate there, but that's cleared away. Oh, shot there by Brian. First sight on goals so far in this game. That clearance will go all the way through. But a heel there of handling outside the box, and that should be an indirect free kick. Poor judgment there by Cavalier's goalkeeper, Wayne Lynch. Portmore United's goalkeeper, rather, sorry about that. Daniel Russell. And needless mistake there. Unforced error, and that could prove costly even this early in the game, just 2 minutes. Now we could already have a chance for a goal here. It seems Adrian Reed will be the one to be over this rather than Christopher Ainsworth. Could decide to go for goal from here, but he does have options in that box. Reed over it, and seems he opted for a shot, but that sails harmlessly over. Be a goal kick to Portmore United. Resumes play. And here's Guthrie on the attack. Ball to Brian. Looks to his right. Finds a teammate. Cross comes in. Looking towards Peck on that left-hand side. Rousseau. Oh, lovely cross! And unable to make contact with it there is Javier Brown. But decent looking attack there by Portmore United. The home team trying to get on the front foot here. Perhaps get a goal as quickly as possible. Number of changes made to both teams. Some surprising players left on the bench. But nonetheless, assuming they're both still going for it. Here's Chad James on the ball now. Oh, good pass. Touch a bit heavy there by Jerome McClearly, and he loses out. Here's Rousseau to Captain Howell, to Guthrie. A space. Tries to beat his man. Gets back to Rousseau. Crossfield switch, unable to be trapped in time by Tariq Jimenez. Jimenez, of course, the one who scored in the game against Racing United last week, where Nikhil Ellis's effort in the first half was cancelled out by Portmore United in the second half. We're able to hold Racing United to a 1-0 draw. Jimenez gets the ball to Gale, who looks for Rousseau. Back to Gale. Stephen Young, of course, who just represented country, leaves it there for his teammate. The pass is cut out. And here's Brian. Oh, good pass out to the right. Finds his teammate there. Robertson, of course, their top scorer this season. And here's Jimenez. Cross. Looking for Peck. Headed across goal! And cleared off the line, it seems. Poor communication from the back line of Cavalier. Oh, sort of real understanding as to where that ball was going to end up there. But thankfully for the defending champions, they're able to get the ball clear. And this corner will be taken, of course, with the hopes of a breakthrough here. Ball come in, and that's headed away by Captain Jerome Ling. Giovanni Ling, rather. Howell, Guthrie beats his man, has a chance to go at goal! And the wind just carries that one away. Did mention before the game that might have an effect here, the weather proceedings of the game. Here we have a replay of that chance just a moment ago. Came in from Jimenez. Rough tackle there on Chad James. And that is a caution to Portmore United. Seems Javier Brown's the one who picked that up. Just receiving some treatment there's Chad James, but he should be fine. And Cavalier, of course, will take this free kick. Seems it's the captain over this one. Not the best free kick in the world, but he pops out back to a teammate. Bobbles up for James, who was unable to take it down. It's Watson. Pass, not able to find. Able to find James there. Here's Brown. Not sure who's passing to there. And here's McClearly. Good turn to evade pressure. Finds Dwayne Thompson. Oh, lovely ball down that left-hand side to find a teammate. Can he cross it into the box? Able to do so. That's blocked beautifully, but results in a corner kick. It seems that was Lewis Watson. Tried to get it in there, but he's rewarded for his efforts. As there will be a set piece now, and Christopher Ainsworth will go over to take it. We have, of course, an update from one of the other games around the league, and that's Mount Pleasant currently in the lead against Champton Roads. Portmore comes in, not the best one in the world. Another cross comes back in from Watson. It's headed away by Portmore. Losing out on that challenge here. Here's Brian coming forward on the left-hand side to pick. Dangerous player we know he can be. Cross comes in and done well there. Towing Lynch with that. Ooh, and Cavalier lose out in the middle of the park there. Here's Rissau. Looking for the run of Javier Brown, and he does actually find him. Lewis Watson unable to head that one away. Cross unfortunately went behind for a goal kick. Not the sort of quality that's going to be required on a day like this, in a game like this. Poor cross, but given the circumstances in regard to weather, sure his coach will give him just a slight pardon. Ling starts play. Two. Teammate there. Ainsworth unable to trap it. That's cleared by Watson. Downfield. And Stephen Young has been fouled there by number 13, Dwayne Allen.
Just drop the man, drop.
Robinson, oh, does well there to beat Watson. Oh, beats another, and he is fouled. Lovely bit of skill there and change of pace from Ronaldo Robinson down that right-hand side. Guthrie is currently over this. Also, just the official confirmation there of caution. And seems Portmore United are ready to take their set piece earned by Ronaldo Robinson. Ooh, that sails out for a goal kick. If it was cricket, that would have gone for 6. Ball clear downfield towards Chad James. Licked on, searching for a foul, but gets none. Dwayne Allen searching and takes advantage of the mistake there by Jimenez. Cross comes in. No one there. Here's Watson. To the path of Adrian Reed. And the pressure finds James. Back to James. Oh, not on the same wavelength as Ainsworth there. Portmore United can clear. And as far as Watson to Javier Brown. Here's Captain Howell. Perhaps uses his arm a bit unfairly there, but the referee says play on. Here's Ainsworth. Perhaps didn't look before he passed in there and couldn't find him clearly.
Find them in front of you.
There's Rasoud on this left-hand side. Finds Peck. The pass over the top for Rasoud, but unable to catch it. And here's Guthrie. Cross towards Robinson. That's headed away by Watson. And here's Javier Brown. Set up the strike there. Thought better of it. Oh, shifts back to his right foot. And tracks that shot just across goal. But good bit of ingenuity there by Brown. Almost resulted in the opening goal.
Don't give no shot, Bobby.
Twain Lynch clears downfield towards Allen. Unable to find him and his Zimenez. To Robinson. Back to Howell. Outside to Robinson again. As the overlapping run of Zimenez opts not to use him. Crosses into the box. Brian came from behind, but he's judged to be offside. Play continues. Here's Chad James. Alone on that left-hand side. Had space to run into, but unable to get to that one. Despite his speed. Pass just not accurate enough. It seems Young will go over instead to take the throw. Leaves it, rather, for Zimenez. Thompson. Thompson clears. Forbes deals with that. James gets to that. Allen challenged beautifully there in the middle of the park. And here's James on that left-hand side, can take on Young. Cross into the box towards McClearly. And that's caught by Portmore United's goalkeeper, Daniel Russell. Just a few chances, a few crosses into the box. Outside of that one shot on Portmore United, nothing really to speak of in terms of an effort that could trouble either goalkeeper. But only 17 minutes into this game, sure, it will heat up momentarily. Lovely ball out there from Guthrie to Rousseau. Cross sails high and wide. Searching for Ainsworth. Gets it to him. Trying to find Allen, but passes easily intercepted. A Young. Just spread the way around the back. Here's Young. Howell. Young. Switch off Gale. On from James. Slow enough for Cavalier. Again, his speed is nasty. Create some that backline for United. Stephen Young had the opportunity to do that there, but even under duress, able to retain possession. Lovely pass there to Peck. Can he beat Michael Forbes? Decides not to. Good pass to Guthrie. Back to Robinson. Strike! And that is blocked by Lewis Watson. That will be a corner kick to Portmore United, who are just starting to come into the ascendancy now in this game. Clayton Peck has really been an outlet on this left-hand side with those long switches of play. We're hoping to be a weapon that generates some sort of a goal-scoring chance for Portmore United today. Cross comes in towards Portmore United, but couldn't direct that header rather on target. Glance just wide.
Hey, Lynch! Hey, Lynch! Lynch! Hey, Lynch! Hey, Leng! Leng!
It seems Portmore United to have a player down here.
Lynch!
Just receiving some medical attention quickly. Seems perhaps there's an altercation in the box from that resulting corner kick. As we mentioned before, Ronaldo Robinson is their top scorer this season for Portmore United with 4 goals. And interestingly enough, in the last encounter between these two teams early on in the season, Portmore United ran out 4-2 victors with one of the substitutes, McGregor, of course, being on the score sheet, as well as Romeo Guthrie, who is praised highly here on this channel whenever we have covered Portmore United's games, as well as 2 goals from Ronaldo Robinson on that day. Cavalier, of course, will be looking to avenge that loss, make right that wrong. But Portmore United, certainly a tall task especially at home. They've not actually lost a game against any of the top 6 teams so far this season, apart from a loss to Mount Pleasant, that is. Here's Dwayne Allen, shot across rather into the path of Chad James, but that's cleared by Howell. Ainsworth couldn't trap that there. Here's Brian. Brian trying to take on all the defenders. Not the wisest decision in the world, and as a consequence, both he and Giovanni Leng pay for it.
Charlie, you're going to kick that. No, I'm not kicking that for the beat. Yeah, when you drop, you just start kicking that far post.
My apologies, of course, to the audience for just some typical difficulties that we're experiencing due to the aforementioned weather. Been just disrupting our ability to broadcast as well as we usually do. We will resume here, with Forbes. Watson. There's downfield to James. To McClearly. Gets down right hand side, but unable to beat Rousseau. Go over just to take this corner kick here. Christopher Ainsworth. Specialist from these areas. Delivery comes in towards James, and that's headed away smartly by Howell. Watson couldn't get that one, but Brian does, and cleared valiantly by Watson. Romeo Guthrie just kneeing that pass out wide to Javier Brown. And he has Pick marauding down that right hand side, but he opts not to use him. Cuts back and looks for Howell, of course, a skipper in the middle of the park, always available, always open. And here's Robinson, switches wings with Peck. Back to Nicoy Gale. Zimenez. Cross towards Guthrie, and Forbes heads that one clear. Clearly his pass, not good enough. And Robinson pockets him. Back to Guthrie. Howell, good pass up to the left to Peck. Cross comes in, and that will be cleared by Cavalier. Forbes having a bit of trouble there in that right-hand side with Rousseau. Tries to get it to Ainsworth, but loses out. Portmore United at the moment just keeping Cavalier camped in their own half. Here's Guthrie. Good take down there by Brian. Lovely to play out work there. And here's Guthrie to Zimenez. Oh, lovely skill there. And had a shot, had a goal, but cleared there by Cavalier. Gale. Back to Russell. Seems Cavalier just opting not to put any sort of real pressure up on the defenders aside from Chad James and Ainsworth after. Oh, and here's Ainsworth in the box still, has the ball. James has been put down, but Cavalier still going, still continuing play. Shot comes in, and what a save by Daniel Russell.
Hey,
James still feeling the effects of that challenge, but nevertheless, Ainsworth had a go there. Very nearly opened the scoring, forced an acrobatic save out of Russell there to keep the score locked at 0-0. Here we can have a replay quickly before the corner kick. There we have Watson getting the ball to Ainsworth, whose shot almost looped up into that top corner. But thankfully for Portmore United, Russell was on hand. Ainsworth's cross comes into the box. Ricochets around. Forbes trying to direct it back goalward, couldn't do it. And here's Guthrie. He has two players to his left. Not able to get to any of them. Shamar Watson cuts that one out. Cavalier will be grateful that he spoiled that counter-attack. Now here's Rousseau. It's Javier Brown in the middle of the park. Ooh, Stephen Young unable to track that ball, perhaps due to a bubble there. Unexpected one, but nevertheless, Portmore United could suffer because of it. Here's Watson. Just some updates coming for you around the league. Montego Bay United, of course, league leaders, have taken the lead against United have taken the lead against Malines. Harbourview are currently 1-1, locked up 1-1 with Tivoli Gardens. Scale. Young. Lovely in-game intelligence by Young there. Had two passes, thought better of them to find the open man. Sort of intelligence that's earned him a call-up recently for the Jamaican national team. Here's Robinson, another young man who's looking to make a name for himself. And here's Young. Thought he had won a battle against his man there, but actually he's offside. And the Cavalier, just 29 minutes gone, almost half an hour into this one. Disappointed that they haven't opened the scoring as yet, considering they did have an amazing chance to do so with that effort from Ainsworth. But nonetheless, given their form recently, they'll just be looking to secure all 3 points at all costs. Still some time in this one to go. Here's Robinson. Zimenez. Howell. Rousseau. Always opts for an early cross. Goes for it again here. Finds Robinson. Unable to trap it as he wanted in the box there. And there's Forbes. Wins a free kick. And in a shock result here around the league, Spanish Town Police FC, who of course rooted to the bottom of the table, currently are leading against Racing United, who are of course second place in the table. We just urge us to goalkeeper to retake that one. Lynch, retake. Just Wayne Thompson. To the path of Lois Watson. Tries to find him clearly, but that's cleared. And that will be a throw into Cavalier on this left-hand side. Watson seems he's going to go for the shorter option. Does have Gawain available to him. Opts for the long throw in into the box. Couldn't find Chad James. And it ends up being a foul on Portmore United. Foul received immediate attention given the nature of the injury. Seems he suffered a blow to the head there.
If you go, it's a way, 4 hour mark, 1 man length. I don't think more your work out. So what if you go up more? Keckle, where we have Keckle, go up more, you know, if you have mark, look here. Yeah, but look here.
Of course, as we mentioned in the pre-match analysis, Cavalier do have a couple of games in hand and have a chance to move up to as far as 5th place. Of course, that is due to the aforementioned Caribbean Cup they partaken in early on in the season with Mount Pleasant and several other Caribbean nations. Mount Pleasant, of course, ran out winners 3-2 in the final. Terry McGee.
Press him now, Chad, press him now. Now make him tackle. Chad, press him.
Russell smartly keeping that away from Chad James there. And here's Gale. Looking towards Peck, but Forbes equal to it. Now here's Adrian Reed under pressure from Guthrie. Puts that downfield towards Ainsworth. Put some pressure on Gale, but ball goes out of play. Young looking for Robinson. Wayne Thompson gets that out of play. See Robinson will leave it for Jimenez there. And Watson was pointing to Jimenez there as if to say that he's the one who touched it last, but the referee disagrees. Linesman rather disagrees, and that will be a throw-in again to Portmore United. Brissau to Pick. Brissau again to Brown. Guthrie back to Brown. Trying to direct that header towards Brian, unable to do so. Poor touch there, man, but clearly Jimenez could pass out to that right-hand side to Robinson. Oh, lovely bit of skill there to just evade the challenge of Wayne Thompson. Can he beat him down that right-hand side? Unable to do so, but the effort is acknowledged by his teammates there. Robinson. And to Wayne Lynch. Not sure if there was an incident off the ball, but he goes down here. The 35th minute. Just a chance here for Cavalier to regroup. Of course, they're known for their fast, relentless style in regards to counter-attacking, but they haven't seen that tenacious pressing that they're known for. It's been pretty much predominantly Chad James just by himself up front pressing, trying to get some kind of error on the Portmore United back line, which oddly enough is the best defense in the league on a per game basis. Conceded only 15 this season, course, more pleasant of conceding 9, but they have about 4 games in hand, so big reason as to why Portmore United's defense has been as great as it has. It's definitely been down to players like Young, Rousseau, James. Not the greatest pass in the world, unable to get that to Watson. And another Cavalier attack breaks down. With a defense this tight, this lockdown, it's going to take some moment of quality from Cavalier to get that all-important goal. Here's Guthrie. Howell under pressure from Watson. Gets up to Young. Zimenez. Howell under pressure from Allen. Gets to Brown, but loses out to McClearly, who evades the challenge of Howell and wins a free kick. In a dangerous position here. Seems Agent Reed will take. It's most likely not a range here. Yup, in terms of a shot. In fact, he leaves it for Leng, which indicates that it's probably going to be a shot. Here's Reed over this one. Be surprised if he went from goal from here, but he does. That is deflected almost actually into the net, and that's just wide of Captain Hall there, and that will be a corner kick to Cavalier. Ainsworth. Trying to get flicked on by James, unable to do so. There's Gale. Wins that challenge and wins a free kick as well. Howell driving in field. Finds Gale. Gale looks for Young. As time and space can just come forward here. Howell. Looks to his left and finds Guthrie. Finds Peck. Peck plays into the path. Rousseau rather plays into the path of Peck. Loses out to Ainsworth. Just trying to push it around. Peck there, unable to do so. Howell, pass cut out there. Ooh, a scream of agony there by Watson. Cavalier win that free kick. As I mentioned before, Portmore United do not lose many games in general, but they especially do not lose games against the rest of the top 6 teams in the league. It will be a tall task even for the defending champions to win this one. Outside of a loss to Mount Pleasant, as I mentioned before, haven't really been known to take losses against other teams vying for a playoff spot. Here's Brian trying to continue that streak, but the pass is cut out by McClearly. Here's Watson. And that throw somehow goes to Portmore United. And the ref reversed his decision, perhaps rightly in my opinion, and will award the throw-in to Cavalier. Assuming because of the nature of the protest that he's about to award a yellow card. Seems he put his card back in his pocket. Watson trying to flick it over Brown. Eventually does. Seemed he was about to win a free kick, but referees just play on, and that's flicked on lovely. Flick on there by James from McClearly. Finds Watson down that left-hand side. Cross comes in, but blocked by the Portmore United defence, and that will be a corner kick. Portmore United, as I mentioned before, do have players on the bench who are known to score goals.
Bobby, drop a little. Yes. Bob, watch a little bit up more.
That corner comes in, Lang able to trap it. Oh, good skill there by Brian to beat Allen and wins a free kick. Young to Zimenez. Young. This is cut out by Thompson. This pass for Watson, not accurate enough. That will go out for a throw into Portmore United. Just about 3 minutes to go in this half. Abe hasn't really got going as yet. Yet seeing a goal, but still some time left in this half for that to happen. There's Ainsworth Reed, who also earned a call-up recently to the national team for that practice match against Grenada. There's Hold. Javert Brown trying to find Peck. He does, but his pass is not accurate enough, and that goes to Ainsworth Reed. Back out wide to Allen, who has space and time. He has James in the middle, hard and low, but McClearly stretched as he did. Stretched as much as he could, but unable to direct it goalward. And it seems 3 Cavalier players are down on the ground. I think only one is really in any serious pain, however. And that's McClearly, given how much he stretched for that shot. Despite his valiant effort, it seems it was in vain. Here's a replay of that chance there. Ainsworth finding Reed, who saw Allen in acres of space, and the cross came across the face of the box, face of the goal rather. James unable to get any sort of connection with it. It fell to McClearly, who tried his best but was unable to direct his outstretched boot goalward. And as he receives some medical attention, I have to make mention of the fact that Portmore United have been a bit of a strange team this season, I must say. They don't lose many games, but they also tend not to score a lot of goals. Been a very miserly defense, but they're not the most expansive team. They do play
Check,
really
and
good
the fourth
football,
official indicates a minimum
struggle to
4
have a
minutes
real
of time to be added
consistent goal
to the
threat.
first half.
Ronaldo Robinson's perhaps the most consistent, but even he still only has 4 on the season. But if that earns them a playoff spot, I don't think they'll mind that much. But as we've seen course of the last couple of seasons where Cavalier have reigned supreme outside of when they had Jamaro Calvin. Doesn't really take much in terms of, in the way of 20 goal a season players or 15 goal a season players in order to win the league. I mean, Arnett Gardens, they had arguably the player of the season last season in Warner Brown, and even they were unable to advance to the finals. In fact, they lost in the semi-finals to Cavalier. So I don't think they'll mind not necessarily having a proven goal scorer who they can rely on, but it is something worth noting that both of these teams do struggle sometimes with that. They depend more so on the team just to find some goals. Chad James has filled in really well in that role for Cavalier. Remains to be seen what he can do when the lights are brightest. Now here's Howell, getting it out to the left-hand side to Peck, and linesman flag goes up, and that is offside. Just instructing his teammates as to their positioning on the pitch. That's that one off to goalkeeper Lynch. Cavalier, a very young team, much different one than the one that hoisted the trophy at the end of last season, but they'll still be aiming to replicate last season's success, where they seem to almost pick up form towards the end of the season. Really. Thompson there.
Don't stop. Well done.
Poor control.
Well done, Tally. Well done, Mike.
Will go out for a throw-in. Not the greatest pass in the world, and clearly almost stripping Stephen Young of that. But thankfully, United retained position.
AJ, look.
Clear downfield, but only as far as he can read. But here's Romeo Guthrie. Live away of this Portmore United team, one of their most creative players. Just enough on that from Rousseau, and Robinson's cross comes in, but Lang deals with that. Hoist that downfield towards James. Does well to retain position with his body to his man, his back to his man, and Reed, lovely work in the middle of the park to James, to Ainsworth now on this right hand side. Opts not to use the man to his right and instead goes for Watson. Oh, lovely bit of skill there to beat his man, goes down, shouts of a penalty, and the referee points the other way. No penalty. Cavalier fans will be disappointed with that, but ultimately I think the right decision was made. Of course, you can let us know your thoughts on the penalty decision in the comment section. For my money, definitely not a foul, a bit too soft there from Lewis Watson. Cross comes in from Brown. No one there, but here's Peck. Cross. And that's headed away by Watson. That will be the end of the first half. Towards the end, it did pick up a bit. An eventful conclusion of the first half. Some controversy there over that decision, which I don't think there should be. But Cavalier, of course, will wanting that one back. Lewis Watson, in my opinion, did really well to get past his man, not make this defender. Honestly, could have tried to stay on his feet and get a shot off, but went to ground in hopes of a penalty. And unfortunately for him, referee looks the other way. And honestly, could say he was fortunate not to get a booking rather for simulation. But as it stands, scoreline still remains Cavalier 0, Portmore United 0. We'll be back after the break. And we're on MG Sports, of course, bringing to you live coverage of the Jamaican Premier League, as always, here at the Fredenita Sports Complex between Portmore United and Cavalier. The second half resumes. The scoreline still locked at 0-0. Had a couple of chances toward the end of the first half, as well as a very controversial call. In my opinion, shouldn't be so. Definitely was the right call, but nonetheless. Portmore United regain position here. And Gale and Ziminiz can just come clear. Forward players, so Adrian Reed did well there to win the ball back. And the pass from Dwayne Allen. Not accurate enough to find Chad James. Ziminiz inside. Has options. Turns back. Finds Gale. Rousseau. Trying to find Javier Brown, unable to do so. And Coen Thompson had to head that one wide. Was lurking. It's Portmore United there. And Romeo Guthrie goes across just to take this corner. Corner comes in from Guthrie, and the goalkeeper, Lynch, gets to that one, and now here's Ainsworth on that right-hand side. Has space and he has time. Finds Reed. These two have linked up pretty well so far throughout this game. Always looking for each other. Out wide to Thompson. Of course, during the break, there was a substitution made at halftime. Seems number 19, Coen, has come onto the pitch. Clearly wins the header there. There's Coen. Howell. Ziminiz. Robinson and Brown beaten to it by Cavalier there. And that is a foul by Allen, rather. Easily have went the other way, but nevertheless. Or pass there. Puts Ziminiz under pressure. Who spins beautifully there to evade pressure. Gets that out wide to Coen. Can the substitute provide a moment of magic? No, he can't, but now here's Howell. Strike from distance. Blocked. Here's James. Down this left-hand side. He beats Howell. Good change of pace there. Despite getting hacked, he retains position. And, ooh, I thought Rousseau was going to deal with that, but he seems to have left it there. Now here's Adrian Reed to McClearly. Clearly unable to retain that. And actually ends up fouling Nicoy Gale.
Hey, Leng, Michael, hey, you, what, hey, look, you're not telling what to do. Look here. Everyone come down here and say,
So, looking for Brian. That's cleared by Forbes. That's a throw to Portmore United. It seems the player that was replaced at the break was Stephen Young. Zimenez, not the greatest pass in the world, and that's cut out by Chad James. Good footwork there in a tight space. Here's Watson. Oh, lovely turn. But the pass not as wonderful. Robinson. Back to Zimenez. Sure of why exactly Young was substituted, but I can only imagine that perhaps he couldn't continue due to an injury that he might have sustained, but looked quite fit towards the end of that half, so definitely is quite a mystery. Is Rousseau to Guthrie. Good turn there, but lost out on it. Rousseau's ball over the top for Cohen. Too much on the pass, and that will go out for a goal kick to Cavalier. Just some updates from around the league. Montego United still currently leading Malines. Harbourview have actually gone down 2-1 to Tivoli Gardens. And Spanish Town Police have conceded. Racing United are back in that game. Scorelines locked at 1-1. Reed heads that on towards Allen, but eventually, after a couple of ricochets, Portmore United clear. Clayton Peck is the one that's put that out of touch. Oh, lovely turn by Ainsworth, but seems the ball went out for a throw-in to Portmore United there. Going towards Brian, that's headed clear by Thompson, by Leng rather. Watson unable to track that one, and cleared in by Thompson. Oh well. Zimenez. Ooh. Did well there to get past McClearly, but too much pace on his dribble there. Chad James unable to get the flick on, but McClearly gets it, and he's ahead of Javier Brown. He's through on goal here. Cuts back. Watson has Chad James out to his left and uses him. James pushes it past Gale, but Gale does well to recover, and it seems that will be a corner kick. I thought the last touch came off of Chad James, but clearly the linesman and the referee both disagree, and so it will be a corner kick to Cavalier. They have the chance here, despite not having the best of times in front of goal so far throughout the course of this game. They do have the chance here to take the lead, opening the scoring in this game. Ainsworth, corner comes in from the left, and the goalkeeper Russell gets to that, but free blows. Russell out wide to Peck. Gale. Zimenez. Turns. Finds Gale. Now here's Rousseau. Guthrie. Oh, lovely work in the middle of the park there by Hall to beat a couple of defenders. Finds Guthrie. Pick. Cross comes in. Looking towards Brown! And that header agonizingly directed just wide. Portmore United so close, coming so close to taking the lead. Good cross in there by Peck, and Javier Brown getting on the end of it, unable to direct his header goalward. But great chance there for Portmore United. And something just to look out for is the fact that Portmore United are a second half team when it comes on to scoring goals. They do tend to grow into games. But a long throw into the box here. Brown and Brian bobbling around. Brian went down, but referee says no penalty. Here's Gale. Ainsworth got a touch on that, and that will be a throw into Portmore United. Don't think that challenge there has as much concrete evidence or much of an appeal in terms of a penalty shout as the one in the first half. Guthrie, just gliding through the pitch, but eventually runs out of room to glide. And Dwayne Allen, pass not on target. Instead blames his teammates for not being on the same wavelength. And Zimenez clears that downfield, trying to get it towards Brian, almost did so. Cleared downfield by Russell, by Lynch rather. Refuses to play on despite the challenge. There's Brown. Just had that chance moments ago. Out wide to Cohen. Just came on in the interim. Trying to find Guthrie, but instead the ball goes back. Now here's Howell, leaves it for Zimenez. Strike a goal. Blocked by Allen. Gale goes all the way back to Russell. Rousseau does well to find Howell in the middle of the park. Robinson. Zimenez. He has a player to his left. Ups for a cross. Dangerous one across the box. But Brian couldn't connect with it. Portmore United starting to feel that they can get a goal here. Had a number of half chances. They'll be looking to break this streak, this unwanted streak that they've had of 3 draws in a row, seeking to get their first victory in quite some time. Actually, since their last win was actually against Spanish Town Police FC, game which of course we covered here on MG Sports. Cleared by Watson, downfield towards James. Pushes out. Now here's Brown. Gets it out wide to Zimenez. Here's Guthrie. Finds him. Turn pass, not as accurate. Zimenez tracks it down. Gets around Cohen Thompson. Tries to get beyond Watson, but it's judged to have fouled him. Tried to bulldoze his way through him there and ended up giving away a free kick. Good turn there by Watson, but the pass not accurate enough. Miss Russell to Howell. Robinson. Ooh, a dangerous pass to Ainsworth. Cuts that one out. Not the greatest place in the world to give the ball away there, Robinson. McClearly. Under duress, gets the ball out wide to Forbes. Trying to find McClearly, but that's cut out by Peck. He has Cohen to his left. Tries to find him, but laying equal to it. And he smartly puts that one out for a throw-in to Portmore United. Brown. Howell. Brian turns. Finds Peck. Cross comes in, and Adrian Reed boots that clear. Better safe than sorry, and that will be a corner kick to Portmore United. Seems Number 17 for Cavalier United is about to make his way onto the pitch. Cavalier, of course, also haven't been in the best of form and will be looking for a goal from their man off the bench. Thomas. Guthrie, as usual, over to take that one on that left-hand side. Corner comes in and dealt well with by Lynch. Throws it forward to Ainsworth. Tracked down by Guthrie. Ainsworth. Oh, great pass by Ainsworth, but well, I thought it was going to be a great pass, but turned out to be too much for Chad James there to track down, and that will be a throw into Portmore United, who just starting to put the pressure on Cavalier. Here's Nicoy Gale. Fouled by Grace Watson. Find it a bit interesting there that Gale didn't actually get the foul until he went down, which bit of a sad state of affairs for football. It clearly makes his exit off the pitch for Thomas there. I do find it a bit sad sometimes that players feel the need that they have to go down in order to get the foul, which is a bit unfortunate, but perhaps they're actually right in doing so, because the referee didn't even look his way until he went down. And Romeo Guthrie, one of the bright spots Portmore United, not just this season, but in this game, actually goes off, and he will be replaced by number 15 Reed, who actually scored in Portmore United's last win, which was against Spanish Town Police FC. Tej Bryan will make his exit as well. He'll be coming off for number 27. That's Miller. Russell just awaiting his turn. He'll be coming on as well. And all three substitutes are made, and play can resume. Ziminis launches into the box. Headed clear by Queen Thompson. Watson trying to get it towards James, but Portmore United on hand there. Alert. Trying to find Reed early, but Adrian Reed gets that one. Forbes trying to find James, but Gale equal to it. Reed. Cavalier, as usual, trying to hit the men into space early, but unable to do so thus far with the accuracy that they're looking for. There's Miller. Cross into the box. Portmore to Cohen. Of course, was the first of their now 4 substitutes that they've made. Peck. Reed controls, turns, tries to get that to Ziminis. Oh, lovely move there by Watson to beat his man. Oh, lovely pass out to the right-hand side for Ainsworth. Cavalier can break here. Watson urging his teammates to come forward. No support, but James thought he wouldn't need support if he had controlled that ball, but unable to do so with a defender on him. Cohen, loose touch, and booted clear by Forbes. Gale. As I mentioned, no real pressing up front from Cavalier. Seems it's been a concerted effort from them today to just be a bit conservative in terms of their approach to the game, just waiting on a mistake from Portmore United, which, as I said before, given their defensive record this season, perhaps not the safest bet in the world, but they'll be hoping to remove the padlock placed on this defense. Thomas didn't even get the touch on. Did, but his pass had no power, little to no power on it at all. Brown to Reed. It seems Chad James has gone down there. Drops out of exhaustion. And the referee whistles to stop play. They'll just receive some quick medical attention and some fluid just to stay hydrated. Which of course is a reminder to the folks at home to also stay hydrated. And it seems will be replaced. And I believe the man coming on for him will be Gordon. James, of course, been one of the standouts in that attack for Cavalier so far this season, but not on his best game today, and he's going to be replaced by number 26, Gordon, who rushed out onto the pitch a bit too early, and he'll be called back by the fourth official. Gale. Howell loses the ball under pressure to Watson there. He has a team, there's a man to him. Thomas trying to beat Gale, but loses that foot race. Thought the pass was good enough, but fortunately Thomas just didn't have the strength required. Let's Reed trying to find Miller. Wayne Thompson gets him. It's Miller. Reed. Substitutes combining here now. Here's Russell. Cross. Hard across the box and tucked in. Tapped in by Portmore United. They've taken the lead here. And it's that man, Tariq Zimenez rather, who breaks the deadlock here. Scored last week their equalizer against Racing United, and he's on hand yet again. He's on the score sheet for Portmore United. I did say that Portmore United tend to be a second half team, and they've proved it yet again here as the defending champions are down. Quick replay here. Miller just drifting by some of the defenders, attracting attention so that Reed and Russell could combine. Russell's cross across the face of the box. So inviting. Too irresistible. And Zimenez had to tap it home. It was begging to be tapped home. That is the lead for Portmore United. Portmore United hot on the trails of Racing United and Montego Bay. They'll be looking to keep up pace. The top two, of course, top two spot in the league table would guarantee you automatic qualification into the semi-finals in the playoffs. And I think it goes without saying as well that in addition to that, money that would come with a higher league position will of course be part of the appeal. Ball towards Thomas, but that's cleared by goal scorer Zimenez. Miller really causing Cavalier some problems with his size. Watson out wide, so his namesake trying to teammate there, trying to find Ainsworth, but Russell beat Sim it to it. Beneath. Miller. Moves this out. Javier Brown hooks it to the path of Howell. And Portmore United, lovely passing here just to get themselves out of pressure. Russell, who of course got the assist for the opening goal of the game. Cavalier boot that clear, but Dwayne Allen unable to get on the end of it, thanks to some alert defending from Portmore United. Alert as per usual. Of course, as I've mentioned before, quite a number of times throughout this game, they have, in my opinion, the best defense in the league. Certainly had one of the best last year. And this year, they've proved to have done more of the same. Good turn there by Miller. Jimenez, the goal scorer. Jimenez, rather. Howell to Gale. Back to Howell. That's Peck high and wide on that left-hand side. Brown. Shouts of man on there from his teammates. Thankfully gets that clear. Goal scorer Jimenez. Portmore United, I guess, sensing the need to just take the sting out of the game given their status as they currently lead. Not seeing the need to put themselves in any harm's way. They currently retain position. Cohen. Out wide to Pick. Arms raised for offside, but linesman says no. Here's Reed. Good turn. The referee says no foul. Ball comes back and Reed has been fouled by Allen there in the middle of the park, and that will be a free kick in a dangerous position. And with just about 17 minutes to go, Portmore United could double their lead here from this set piece. And in some live updates from right across the league, we do have league leaders Montego United doubling their lead against Malines, and Racing United have also tripled theirs. They now lead 3-1 against bottom feeders Spanish Town Police FC, coming back from behind. They were down 1-0 and they are now up 3-1, keeping pace with league leaders. Seems there's a congregation of players
caution issued to number 13
for Portmore
Allen of Cavalier
in terms of the decision making of what to do with this free kick here. Rather precarious position for Cavalier. Reed and Rousseau seem to be the ones in the running to take it. We know Reed is quite technically gifted, but will he have the power and the accuracy, the dip, the bend, and all of the above needed to get this one on target? Rousseau opts to cross it instead, and that will be cleared for a corner kick. Rousseau. Cross. That's cleared by Cavalier. Allen into the path of Leng. And Peck does well to cut that out. Stops a potential counter-attack. Watson to Leng. Thompson. That's not good enough. Hall gets to that first. Lewis Watson able to get to it. Ball goes out of touch, and that will be a throw-in to Portmore United.
Romarian.
And referee awards a yellow card to one of the members of the Cavalier staff. And also, just a quick update, Montego United have tripled their lead 3-0 to the good. The league leaders there over Malines. And of course, have been in decent form recently, but being put to the sword here by the team from the West. Remains to be seen whether or not they can get their first title in well over a decade. Shot from distance! Oh, what a save by Russell. Ainsworth wrapped his foot around that and very nearly getting an equalizer for Cavalier. Champions saying they're not down yet. Trying to get back into this one. Just about less than 15 minutes to go. Ainsworth to take this set piece. They'll be seeing if they can get a quick goal here from this set piece. Corner comes in. Wayne Thompson meets that. The header, despite how high he rose, is off target. There's a chance there for Cavalier. Ainsworth. Great shot there and almost beat the keeper at his near post, unable to do so. Russell, big reason as to why Portmore have this defense. And now here's Cohen trying to beat Lynch to it. There's Russell trying to catch the goalkeeper out there. But United still only up 1-0, and it's a dangerous position to be in with this much time left in the game. As we just saw, Cavalier still not laying down, still trying to score some goals here. Downfield in the path of Allen, but here's Miller. Despite his physical prowess, losing out there to Watson, who turns beautifully and wins a free kick. Tidy midfielder, despite the loss, well, potential loss for Cavalier. I must say Shamar Watson has been pretty good in the middle of the park today when he's been on the ball. A lot of work for him to do off it in terms of tackling and work rate, but on the ball, I must say, definitely one of the more tidy midfielders I've seen in the Premier League. Great, lovely touches around opponents to evade pressure. Good footwork on the young man. Seems that Wayne Lynch of Cavalier is about to make way. Also, they're making another substitution. 29, Gallimore will be coming on. Not particularly sure why Lynch is being substituted. This little time to go. Gale clears downfield, looking towards Miller, but Thompson heads that one away. Watson shaves the ball away from Brian. Handled it, but play on. Watson, uncharacteristically poor touch, but Still retains position. Now he's lost it.
Double substitution.
Portmore United almost
For Cavalier SC, sees number 29.
strung up a
Gallimore placing number 13.
counter-attack there. Forbes under pressure.
And number 40.
Despite the pressure, retains position. Thomas needlessly trying to force that one into the path of Thomas there. Better off just keeping possession. Gordon, of course, if you remember, Leng goes down there. Gordon, if you remember, tried to come on earlier, but was instructed to remain on the sidelines by the fourth official. He's on the pitch now. He's hoping to make an impact. Knows perhaps maybe even get the all-important equalizer for Cavalier. Ball down that right-hand side. Able to find the teammate. Portmore United can clear. Cavalier perhaps sensing the need for some more urgency. Just trying to get on the front foot here with just under 10 minutes to go in the game. There's Forbes. Looking for an option, but Ainsworth being tightly marked. Rightfully so, as he is their danger man. So, does well to get away from Gallimore. It's a bit unfairly. Thought it was a push in the back, but referee didn't see it, so we play on. Ooh, poor pass from Forbes. Now here's Miller. Looking for options. Finds Reed. Ooh, not sure if that was accidental, but nice little drag back there. And there's Brown. High and wide is Cohen. Reed again. Oh, lovely pass for Cohen. Turns back. Brown. Portmore United playing some really nice football at the moment. Howell, poor touch. Scale. Russell. Under pressure from Thomas, just opts to get that one out of touch. Portmore United just playing themselves into pressure instead of out of it a while ago. Neither team doing the greatest job in the world at retaining possession at the moment. A bit much like a basketball game. Too much for my liking, but Russell, of course, one who assisted that goal. His header results there in a challenge being made on Russell there by number 26, Gordon, a substitute. So still down in pain. Given the screams that were so uttered a while ago, I was sure that medical staff would be immediately summoned, but it seems he's just going to soldier on, hobbling, but he is at least moving around. Just some continued quick updates from games around the league. Mount Pleasant, of course, the defending champions of the league portion of the season, doubled their lead. They are now 2 goals to the good against Chapelton Maroons. It's Brown to Cohen. Spins, turns, finds Brown again. Where's Gale? More players pressing up front for Cavalier. Howell loses out there in the middle of the park to Reed. Gordon to Gallimore. To Thomas. Gordon. Good turn. Tame shot. And Howell just boots it clear. Russell couldn't get there in time. That will be a throw-in to Portmore United. I feel as though there was definitely some instructions by the Cavalier coach just to get more pressing into the team up front, and it's definitely worked. They have definitely opted for a more aggressive approach, and of course it is much needed given the little amount of time remaining in this one. They need a goal, and they need it now. It's Ling. Most likely will go to Ainsworth, and they do find him. Oh, good turn by Ainsworth, but Lucy's out there. And now Cohen can come forward for Portmore United, trying to find Miller, but he eventually does get it because of a fall by Michael Forbes. And not the requisite level of awareness needed there to retain possession. Gallimore unable to spin on Rousseau there, who clears that downfield, but wins a free kick. Portmore United looked to be in there just a few short moments ago after Michael Forbes had a stumble, but Miller just couldn't capitalize. And Portmore United making yet another substitution. Number 7, Knight, is about to come on. It seems he's going to be replacing Hoyle, which perhaps a wise decision given Hoyle in the second half not been as superb in position as he was in the first. Challenges as well as just losing some balls because of poor touches, and rightfully perhaps replaced.
By number 7, Sigil Knight.
Of course, this can only go one of two ways. Portmore United can either sit on this lead, not to just be a bit more conservative, which, given their stout defensive record, they are capable of. But Zimonese saying, I want goals, and he's driving forward here. Cross, that's blocked by, I believe that's Gordon. Thomas trying to get it clear to Gallimore. Gallimore loses out on a header there to Nicoy Gale, despite his diminutive stature. Warrior in that back line. A big part of the reason why they still currently have a clean sheet in this game. Ling. Forbes. Trying to find Reed, but that's headed down by Brown. Watson heads into the path of Lewis Watson. And poor touch by Gordon, but I think that's more because the pass from Watson came when he wasn't looking. I guess I could rightly surmise that that can only come from a chemistry, real understanding that's played out on the pitch today for Cavalier. Shows in the fact that they're still 1-0 down. Of course, results aren't always reflective of the performance, but today definitely has been not the sort of performance you'd expect from the defending champions. Ainsworth has the ball ahead of Peck, but does well to beat his man there. Stumbled but got up to Reed. And Reed is fouled by Knight, who's only just come on, and he's giving away a free kick in a pretty dangerous area. We know Ainsworth can hit them. Reed also a candidate to perhaps give a moment of magic, provide a moment of quality reminiscent of just a week ago when Nicalia Fuller scored a free kick to equalize against Cavalier, incidentally. Can they provide a free kick of their own? They score a free kick of their own to level the scores here. They desperately need it. Does not get any easier for Cavalier, folks. Just a quick reminder, they do face Mount Pleasant, who they beat last year in the final of the Jamaican Premier League. And then they do have league leaders Montego United shortly after that game. It seems it's going to be Giovanni Leng, the captain, over this one. Bit of a surprising choice. But let's see what the big man has up his sleeve. Can the skipper rescue his team out of the hole they've dug themselves? Leng over it. Strike. Cross, actually. Towards Thompson. Doesn't find him. Cross back from Thomas. And Russell does well to claim it. And Russell goes down. Could be a tactic at this time, but nevertheless, referee still has to stop play.
Leng, get set, Leng. We have 5 minutes, Leng. Set.
4 minutes have been added, and we've already played a minute out of the 4.
Go to your right, Leng.
And for those of us that can do math, yes, that does mean there are 3 minutes left. Reed gets that one wide to Cohen. Number 27, Miller on the ball, who has been decent since coming on. Has a go, and that is blocked by Thompson. And that's wide for a corner kick to Portmore. Seems a short corner kick has been taken just to waste a bit of time, and didn't waste that much time. But did the job well enough. And they're just being urged by some teammates just to get on with it as the time is ticking. Cavalier running out of that precious commodity needed in order to get some sort of a result here. Perhaps maybe not a win, but at least a point. Watson, Thompson, Leng. This could be the last meaningful action of the game here. Cavalier will need to make it count. But can they? Forbes. Cross headed away by Rousseau. Now here's Reed. Tonight. And Cohen. Portmore United on the break. To Reed. Back to Cohen. Turns to Brown. Gets it back out wide to Peck. Peck opts for a cross towards Brown. And Russell somehow unable to connect with it. I thought it looped up perfectly for him to hit home, but his timing was off. And Portmore United unable to double their lead. But perhaps it won't matter. Not sure why he opted to go for such a orthodox pass rather. But here's Cohen as Reed to his left. And the linesman's flag does go up but wide to Ainsworth. And Reed gets it. Portmore United yet again lose possession. There will be a throw into Cavalier. They keep trying to give the game away at this point. But nevertheless, here's Ling. Thompson. Reed. Ling can cross it now. He opts not to for some reason and gives away the free kick. He had the opportunity to cross the ball there to at least give his teammates who ventured forward a fighting chance. But bad decision making. That's been really the theme of Cavaliers afternoon, and as it stands, they're going to continue to be winless. They succumb to a 1-0 defeat here, the defending champions at the Ferdinita Sport Complex. Portmore United, thanks to yet another second half strike from Tariq Zimenez, have taken all 3 points here at home. And I must say, it was a rather good game. Good encounter, good clash between the 3rd place and 6th place team in the Jamaican Premier League. And given the results around the league, in regards to, of course, Motiva United and Racing United getting pretty convincing victories, Portmore United definitely needed this victory. However, difficulty may have come, despite the fact that they continue this vein of form in regards to not necessarily scoring a lot of goals, but their defense has been what's gotten them this far. It's what got them as far as they did last season, and they'll be hoping that it can be enough to guide them to a championship this season. But that's it for us on MG Sports live score. The live coverage, rather, of the Jamaican Premier League continues for the rest of the season, and I've been your commentator for the day,